All right, getting into part 3 of how to help your spouse heal from your affair. This one is called Qualities of Successful Rebuilders. Qualities of Successful Rebuilders. Getting it. Getting it. The most important quality that an unfaithful spouse needs in order to successfully regain their offended partner's trust is that the betrayer gets it. And let me tell you, most of you who have betrayed, you do not get it. You don't get it. And especially, and I'm going to go especially men on this. And I don't mean to offend, bruh, but guess what? You're a man, and therefore you don't nearly have the empathy that a woman has. And empathy is a massive part of this. And empathy's got to be trained quite often. But that's the thing that leads you to those questions of why are we still talking about this? That was a long time ago. Why is this still coming up? You know? That sort of thing. Why aren't you healed yet? It's been years. I can tell you, some of you are saying days. Some of you are saying weeks. But I know people that it's been more than 25 years and they're still dealing with this pain because we don't get it. And it takes time to get it. Okay? I got into a heated discussion with Rick Reynolds over getting it one time because I didn't get it. And he was telling me that in a most humbling way, and I learned some things because of that. So if you're getting tired of hearing her say, if your spouse, guys, especially you, if your wife is telling you after betrayal, and they're trying to explain it to you, they're trying to reveal their pain to you, they're trying to get it across to you, and you constantly hear them say, you're not listening, or you don't get it, you don't understand, I can tell you the reason is because you don't get it. The reason is because you don't get it. And that's hard to hear, but you don't get it. And that's what I teach also, is how to get it. I teach you how to get it, how to understand it. Getting it means that straying spouses understand the wrongness of their behaviors and the depths of the pain that they have caused their spouses. Rebuilders need to effectively renounce their old behaviors and develop a keen sense of what it must be like in their partner's shoes. This first chapter explores typical roadblocks to getting it, examples of high-profile people who didn't get it, so you can see what you want to avoid in your life, and then underlying attitudes adopted by successful rebuilders who manage to repair their marriages. And so all of that is important. Getting it is very, very important, okay? I'm telling you, that's going to be, and what she said there, getting a keen sense of what it's like to be in their shoes. Because in the long run, getting it, and this is in the long run, not the short run, because this is going to take you some time. It's not about how would I feel in their shoes. It's about how do they feel in their shoes. And really understanding what they feel. When most of us do something wrong and hurtful to others, we are far more conscious of our own guilt and shame and pain and the pain of the damage that we've inflicted on those to us. I'm going to read that again. Sorry. When most of us do something wrong and hurtful to others, we are far more conscious of our own guilt, shame, and pain than the damage that we've inflicted upon those who are close to us. Truth. Okay? Truth. I hear it all the time. Two very, very, very big things that I hear constantly. Number one, I messed up. Number two, I feel horrible. To which I respond, stop touching yourself. And that's not what it sounds like. What you're doing is touching your own pain. You're touching what it makes you kind of feel like. But you're not getting it. You're not understanding what it is that your spouse is feeling. Okay? And that's very, very important to this whole process. It is human nature to be over-aware of our own suffering and under-aware of the suffering that we have caused others. Most couples who come into my office for counseling tend to see the relationship problem blame ratio as 90% the partner's fault and 10% their own fault. I tell such couples, if each of you work on your 10%, your partner will experience it as you working on your 90%. Now listen to me. You know what? I'm going to keep going real quick because I got a lot I could say on that. The reality is this: if you're doing blame shifting, if you are blaming your spouse for what you have done and for the choices that you made, you're basically saying they forced you. They held a gun to your head, in essence, and they didn't. Nobody did that. You made choices. You made decisions based on what you were feeling. You made choices based on what maybe was happening or wasn't happening within your marriage. We got to change the way we see this, okay? Betrayers, the previously unfaithfuls often feel so much guilt and shame over being found out, they fail to grasp the magnitude of their offenses and the far-reaching impact of their actions on others. To family members, it often appears that straying persons are only sorry for being caught, but not sorry for what they have done. Common complaints I hear from betrayed spouses are, he is clueless. She doesn't get it. He's in la la land. She doesn't understand. He's so defensive. She thinks I should be over it by now. Can you believe it? And he only feels sorry for himself and hasn't a clue about what this has done to me. Now that went back and forth, the betrayed spouse in that scenario being the male and then being the female, depending on the situation. But listen, we have to understand that there were choices that we made, okay? And when you make those decisions, you don't get to blame your spouse for the choices and decisions that you made. There may have been a lot of pain coming to you. Listen, I'm not saying that your betrayed spouse was awesome and amazing and the best spouse in the world. They may have a lot of issues that need to be fixed as well. But it was you, previously unfaithful spouse, that burned this thing to the ground, that chose, rather than to do the work, to burn it to the ground. Now listen. Most likely, it's because you didn't know what the work was. Again, how many marriages? 99% of marriages don't know what the work is. That's important. Okay? Reach out. We are Unbroken Together coaching. We want to be here for you. We want your marriage saved. Okay? Because your marriage is a life that can be amazing and it can be fixed. Reach out. I'll see you in the next one.